So I got this little project, and as you can see, is a jack, and I've always wanted one of these big ones. Always wanted one. I just never bought one because they're, they're over $100 usually to get a really good one. But I started, scouring the web on OfferUp, and I just happened to come across this one. This is a Harbor Freight 2.5 ton floor jack, and it is the big one. And it's the older one, so it's all steel. So this sucker is heavy. So it's it's heavy duty, and so you can see what it looked like. Because obviously I have it all masked up. Here's a picture, so you can see what I got. And it was hardly used, but it did have a little bit of rust spots here and there. So I wanted to get rid of that and give it a little customization so that I could make it my own. So I sanded it down. You can see I already started last night, but I'll tell you what I did. I sanded it down, to get rid of all the little rust spots off of the plate there that actually goes right over here, and the boom area and in there. So I sanded it down. Then I painted it with automotive primer, Rust-Oleum automotive primer. I don't like, that too much, but it's what I had on hand. So I decided, let me just, go ahead and give it some kind of coating to protect it from future rust. Now, a little word on these cans. I've used automotive primer for some of my Nova projects. You see the Nova right there. Some of the Nova projects. Whenever I use these cans of whenever I'm painting, even for projects not related to the Nova, I don't like to use my finger to be pressing down on the trigger. So that's where this comes in. You can see this here. This is awesome. This thing right here. Now this particular one is a Rust-Oleum one, and I'll link it down in the description box below. So if you decide that you want to get one of these, but this thing is awesome. And I had this particular one for over 7 years, and it does me very well. I don't have to worry about having my finger getting tired from pressing on the trigger, and it's like spraying with a spray gun. So I can control the coverage. I can control how I want the spray to actually get on whatever I'm spraying, and I get it nice and even, and that's because I have more control with this. So I just basically grab it just like a spray gun, and just basically this doesn't really have too much left in there because I kind of wasted it, but it's like using a spray gun. So I advise you go ahead and pick up one of these if you do use spray cans a lot. It makes your life a whole lot easier. So now back to this. Basically, the idea behind this is I want the entire center to be red. Now the rest of the jack is like a silver color, which you saw in the picture, and so I wanted it kind of customize it. So I got it all set up. I painted it with that, and then I let it dry. I started this last night, so I let it dry, and then I hit it with some 800 grit just to kind of give it some scratch. And so the plan is to paint it red. So you see here, I got some red here, and this is automotive red, and basically urethane base coat. And I had a lot of this left over because when I went to paint the Nova's engine, and I bought some some red for it, the urethane base coat, they accidentally gave me just red. They forgot to give me the metallic red, which is velocity red. So they told me just keep it, so I scored a whole quart of red. So I'm gonna start. I'm gonna give it a coat of red, and the plan is to use my 1.0 detail gun, HVLP gun. So I'm gonna pour some in there, and if you watch my videos in the past, you'll know that I keep them in these bottles already mixed with the reducer, and as long as it's in a sealed bottle, it lasts forever. So that's why I have it all ready. It's already pre-mixed, so all I gotta do is just open up the cap, pour it straight in the gun, and start spraying. Okay, so I gave it you know, a tack coat, basically a really light misting of the paint. You can see it there. So it's not fully covered, but my main concern is I just want the paint to kind of stick on there, provide a good foundation for the rest of the coats. So you see there, so you can kind of see a little bit of the gray. I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but it's just basically a really light coat. So you saw that I was doing some test sprays on there. So I just basically make sure that when I'm spraying, I finalize the gun settings right before I'm gonna spray. So that's basically what I did. So it came out really good. So a few minutes, I'll start painting this again. Okay, gonna give you a different angle. Hopefully you'll see what I'm doing. So let's get this painted. Okay, so I brought the parts inside. You know, I'm done painting it with the red. So you see how it laid out. Has some orange peel in it, but you know, it doesn't matter because I'm gonna put some clear coat over it. But it came out really good because it's minimal. It's minimal. And I wanted it to just kind of get the paint on there. But look at this right here. See if the camera will focus on that. Look what landed in my paint. A seed, you know, like a dandelion floating seed thing. So I'm gonna wait till the paint is fully dry before even attempting to remove that. But you can see nonetheless the paint laid out really sweet, really nice. I'm very happy with the way it laid out. You can see that there. So you know, we got that little fuzz. You see it's two of them right there. But once the paint is dry, I'm gonna take some tweezers and I'm gonna, you know, remove it. Okay, so now that I'm done with the painting process, I'm gonna clean out my gun. And if you haven't checked out my video on how I clean my gun, I'm gonna link that up in the corner so you can check that out. But I'm gonna do that right now. So I've already emptied up the cup, and like I said, the beauty of this paint is, you know, it lasts indefinitely. So after I'm done painting, all I have to do is just take, you know, the leftover, pour it back into the bottle, and you know, use it for the next project. So I'm gonna go ahead and pour some acetone in here, just to kind of start the process of cleaning out my gun. And I'm gonna work this, shake it up. So I'm gonna go ahead and take care of that. But if you want to check out how I clean out my gun, check out that video. So I'm gonna go ahead and take care of this, and I'll see you back when I'm ready to put on the clear. Okay, so it's been a half hour, and show you right here. You can see I got rid of that little fuzz. And the way I did it was, all I did was just use compressed air to get rid of it. You don't want to touch it. You know, I didn't want to touch it or anything. And if I can get rid of it with compressed air, then I'm good to go. So now, half hour has passed and I'm ready to put some clear on. So this time I'm going to be using this stuff here. I'm going to try it out, see how it works. And it's a 1-to-1, so makes it easy. And since I just need a little bit for this small little project, got me a little cup here, and I'm going to take it, pour in one of these cups of the clear, and then I'm going to pour in 1 cup of activator and just kind of mix it all up and put some clear.
So you saw the jack and it looks great. The clear coat laid out really nice. It leveled out as it dried and I'm loving it. But you might be wondering, why paint the jack that's gonna get beat up anyway? Why didn't I just use spray bomb with my trigger setup that I was talking about earlier? I could have just bought red, right? Well, in the next clip, you'll see why I decided to do base coat, clear coat on my jack, which is the primary reason for painting a jack with this setup.
So now this is the next little bonus that I need to take care of. So this right here is just a fender flare for a 2003 Ford Ranger, which you can see is being worked on here. So this one's already painted and it's getting its cut and buff. And so this here was painted with the truck, but when he was doing the cut and buff, he kind of went through on the clear. So we're gonna re-clear it real quick just to kind of boost up the protection, and that way he can get the truck cut and buff properly. So I'm gonna put 2 coats of clear on this, and just to make sure that he has enough to cut and buff. So, you know, the truck was painted by somebody else. Well, we're just gonna take care of this real quick with the clear that I use for my jack.
That's the reason why I decided to paint the jack with the base coat, clear coat setup. It was actually a guinea pig for the setup. I wanted to test out how this clear actually performed. You know, how it sprayed, how it laid out, how it leveled out as it dried, that kind of stuff. And I needed something to paint. I wanted to paint these flares, and I just needed to try out this clear, and the jack happened to be something that I can try it on. And so the flare came out really nice. This was the, one of the test pieces. I have 3 more, which I'll be making a video on, so you'll see me spraying that. And I really like how it laid out, so you can see this is straight from the gun. So I sprayed it, and I didn't even cut and buff it yet. It's not even polished. It's just basically out the gun, and it laid out smooth. Really smooth. I'm impressed with the product. So I really like this clear, and it's SPI Southern Polyurethanes ink. And what turned me on to this, to actually try this, was the 1-to-1 aspect of it, where I just basically equal parts, mix it in a cup and spray it. I felt that this would be something easy to mix up and spray, rather than worrying about the 4-to-1, which is what I used for the Nova originally. And this is a universal clear coat, and it is stated on their website that they use it for the Barrett Jackson show cars. I did a lot of research on it, and it seems to be really, really good clear with a lot of UV protection. So decided to try it out for this small little project. So there you have it. Just a little project that I had on hand. Decided to share it with you guys so you can see what I go on. There's always something going on here, whether it be the Nova or something else, because we are car people, and that's what car people do. So if you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already subscribed, hit that notification bell so you know when I'm uploading a new video. But either way, I'm happy to make the videos, and these videos are for you guys. And if I can help you guys out in any way I can, I'm gonna try to do it. So if you have questions, comments, put them in the comment section below, or you can follow me on Instagram, and the link is in the description box below, and you can hit me up there. So anyway, as always, hope you enjoyed. Thank you very much for watching.